Hello everyone and welcome back. In our first session, we had introduced the concept of dimensional thinking. This is the tool that allows us to look past the surface and see the systems that are at play. Today, we're putting that tool to work. We're going to trace the money, the materials, and that massive biological gap that no one seems to want to talk about. Let's look at NASA's material science. Recently, a $2.5 billion contract was signed with a company called Leidos for a program called Aegis. Leidos is a massive corporation operating under many names. Aegis is the infrastructure. It covers telecommunications, cybersecurity, and emergency and early warning systems. Now, if we look at this dimensionally, we see that Aegis is the pioneer for space weather gear. For example, look at the Aegis Guard LS and LP models. These are used to protect against radiation coming from towers into our wireless devices. Their LP models protect from unwanted electrical frequencies from 1G all the way through 5G, 6G, and even to 1 terahertz. Their shielding range actually exceeds the FCC's entire table of frequency allocations. These products are listed for home, office, factory, healthcare, and military use globally. So here's my question. If these frequencies are so safe, why is there a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure dedicated to shielding hospitals, factories, and government buildings from them? And why is this never spoken about to the general public? When anyone from the general public suggests that these tower frequencies are causing harm, the trolls come out and attack your mental status. We've all heard that space weather is off lately, right? Solar flares, they're ramping up. And data suggests these events correlate with dizziness, trouble sleeping, and oxidative stress. Yet we hear nothing from medical establishments or trusted experts on how to protect ourselves. If you go to the doctor as an electrosensitive person, you're often told you're crazy. But in an era where data is the most valuable commodity on Earth, why is the health of a satellite sensor documented in real time while the health of a human biofield remains a riddle? Is it possible that being unable to hold a conversation about these systems has everything to do with the money that's involved? Key players like Lockheed Martin, L3 Harris, and Rocket Lab operate in this high-level materials science. But right now, we're going to have to be honest about something. They also work in coordination with corporate entities that seek total control. You see, at bioelectric.solutions, our goal is to help you protect yourself from these external signals. By looking at these best in the business players, we can trace the solutions used by those at the top to ensure we are employing maximum protection. Look, NASA recognizes that space radiation causes genomic instability and changes in cognition. They spend billions on samarium cobalt magnets from companies like BJA Magnetics to stabilize hardware. If they need high-grade magnetics to protect a machine, what is the biological stabilizer for a human living in this synthetic high-frequency environment? As this grid expands, we're seeing a direct rise in health incidents that match this interference. But to understand why, we have to look at the foundations laid over a decade ago. During the Obama era, we saw an unprecedented surge in funding for the Precision Medicine Initiative and the Brain Initiative. Billions were poured into mapping the human genome and developing nanotechnology. Today in 2026, we see that investment being employed in biotechnology, specifically in nanomedicine and targeted cancer treatments that use high-frequency signaling to activate cellular responses. Here's the dimensional question. If this technology is being used to recode us for health, who else has the remote? We are now seeing the integration of biotechnology and nanotechnology in ways that were never fully discussed with the public. And it isn't just happening at the cellular level. It's happening in the air we breathe. Professional researchers like Dane Wigington and his colleagues have provided forensic evidence of stratospheric aerosol injection. Their lab tests have confirmed high levels of aluminum, strontium, and barium raining down on us. It was found in the soil. These aren't just environmental concerns. These are highly conductive heavy metals that can cause significant damage in the body. When we talk about this, we're shut down and silenced. But as an auditor, I have to ask, could those aerosols be creating a more conductive environment for the very signals we're tracing? Is the spraying actually part of a larger system to ensure that the synthetic grid and our internal bioelectric power grids are permanently linked? In dimensional thinking, we really can't ignore the conspiracies. We have to audit the connectivity of it all. If we're being primed with heavy metals to make us more receptive to these external signals, then stress and brain fog aren't just feelings. They're the sound of an alarm within our systems that is being overdriven. We must learn to listen to the alarms within our own biological reality. Peer-reviewed research in heliobiology as of 2026 confirms that geomagnetic storms correlate with heart rate changes and melatonin disruption. We know space weather induces currents and power grids on the ground. Is it possible our own internal power grids are experiencing a similar induction that we've been taught to call stress or brain fog? Finding these answers really isn't possible with vertical thinking. We just have to take what they say and ask no questions. We have to think dimensionally. That is how we find the best products to protect ourselves against the EMF, RF, and 5G signals of this new grid. I want to thank you for being a part of this. And really, we hope that you see how much we care and the effort we put forth to ensure you have the tools to protect your loved ones. I'll see you in our final session for Dimensionality of Thinking. We hope you will return for part 3.